Last time we were fitting the bowsprit and the lazarette hatches. It was a fine day, so this is a good time to sand back the spars once again and give them another coat of varnish. And while I was at it, I thought I'd give the rudder another coat as well. The weather forecast was slightly iffy, so I thought I'd take the spars inside the garage to give them the coat of varnish, just to be on the safe side. I bought some ventilation cowls which needed to be fitted, so I set about marking the positions for these on top of the Dorada boxes. Once I cut a hole for them, I painted some epoxy resin around the edge just to seal the wood. And fixed the cowls in place with some 3M marine sealant and stainless steel screws. Meanwhile, the spars had been drying nicely in the sun, so I decided to mount the mast next on top of the tabernacle. I drilled some holes for the pivot bolt. With the bowsprit in position at the base of the tabernacle, I lifted the mast into place to mark where I needed to drill through for the pivot bolt. Then I set about fitting the rudder. I supported the rudder in place before marking where I needed to drill for the eye bolts. I would eventually fix the eye bolts in position with some epoxy resin, but this was just an initial dry fit. The lower eye bolt, as you can see, is fitted low down on the keel, whereas the upper one is fitted through the transom. This was a bit too long, so I needed to mark it to cut off the excess. Then I put the rudder back in place to mark the corresponding positions for the eye bolts on the rudder. Again, these were fitted dry so I could remove them for painting the rudder. Then I slotted the stainless steel rod through the eye bolts to mark it ready for cutting. At this point I couldn't resist trying out the rudder action. I cut the stainless steel rod to the correct length and drilled some holes for the retaining split pins at either end. Then I used a piece of wood to mark the hole where the tiller would pass through the transom. I cut this out, routed and sanded it before putting the whole rudder assembly together.